to the Author to Authority podcast. And I have with me today a fellow book writer, publisher, does publications. So I'm really excited because we're going to have a wonderful conversation today about you've written your book. Now what do you do? Right? Because so many people write books, and what do? They end up sitting in boxes in their garage. So we're going to have a very riveting discussion that's really going to help you use your book to take your business to the next level. So with that, I want to welcome Tavetta Patterson. She's an author and the president of Abundant Life Publications. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to our conversation today.
Me too. So to begin with, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and share some of your story with us.
Absolutely. I am Tavetta Patterson. I am a person who loves to write, to share what I've learned in life and to help other people through life. I started writing at 8 years young.
Wow.
And I had a lot of teachers who believed in my talents at a very young age. And when they gave me a pencil to write or a microphone to speak, it was like that's when I came most alive. So I knew very early on I was in my purpose. I became a published writer as a high school student because one of my teachers in high school submitted one of my writings and it was accepted and published. And from then it was like, okay, this is what I want to spend the rest of my life doing. And each day I've taken a step every day to live my dream as a published writer.
That is really cool.
33 years I've been writing now, so over half of my life. And I've been able to complete 10 magazines, 7 books, develop television program treatments with my writing, just programs in schools, colleges, corporations, wherever there was an open door to write and share, I walked through the open door and utilized the opportunities.
So how did Abundant Life Publications come about?
Abundant Life Publications came about because I lived in a community where there was not a lot of stories being told from inside the community. It wasn't a lot of positive stories, and I saw resilient people in my community, and I didn't often hear their stories. So I started the publishing company to tell those stories, and it began with a magazine. And because we were consistent with the magazine, someone who had a television program saw the magazine and offered the opportunity to write a television program. So I guess the lesson from that is consistency can lead to opportunities as well. So it was literally to fulfill that need.
That is so cool.
Thank you.
I love it. So today we want to talk about the next steps after you've written this book. So I'm going to let you go first and share your thoughts, and then I have a few to share as well.
Absolutely. So I would say one of the first steps is to do an inventory list. On one side of that inventory list, you will write perhaps whatever challenges you've been through in life and in your writing career. On the other side of the inventory list, I would say write wins or victories or opportunities that you've experienced as a writer and in life. And from that list, I would say build from there with how you would teach what you have learned to other people. Mm-hmm. Develop your book. Develop a curriculum based on your book. Develop practical step-by-step tools that people can apply to their everyday life. And then you pretty much have a program that you can offer to someone. Once you've done that inventory list, I would say the next thing would be to make the call or send the email to ask for specifically what you want. For me, it was picking up the phone, calling local colleges. I had written a book. The title of the book is From Morning to the Morning. Mm-hmm. And so the program was based around the topic of grief recovery. And so I would call and say, does your college offer any grief recovery classes to the community? And I heard a no. I said, well, may I offer that service through your college? And I got a yes. That was in 2018. The person that I spoke with said, I'll give you one day to do one workshop. I said, well, if you give me one day, the next ask was for a feedback form. I asked her if she could provide a feedback form so that the participants could give their feedback as to what they gained from the experience. From that, it was 85% at high, like straight 5-star reviews across the board. 15% was like right underneath there, and that was January of 2018. We're in February of 2020 at the time of this interview, and so I still have that partnership with that college. So inventory list, asking for what you want, and then positioning yourself in cultures where you can nurture your talent. And I'll give you an example of that. When I first graduated high school, I went to college one year, but when I moved back, my mom said, in order to live here, you have to work. And so I got a job at the local newspaper company because I loved to write. My mother's biggest goal was to get me to graduate college. So while I was in college, I was still in the environment to nurture my talent. I went from one newspaper company to the next company, and both of those were newspaper companies. The second company, I was a receptionist and an administrative assistant, but I would visit the newsroom every day to see what the writers were doing in the newsroom. So in a sense, I kind of got paid to learn the business of publishing. And from there, we literally started publishing the magazine, then the books, then the television program. So create your list, ask for what you want, and position yourself in environments that nurture your talent. Those will be my top 3 suggestions.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's
Thank you.
Pretty cool. Yeah, and I think it's important, you know, you have to make a plan for your book. Yes. And how you're going to use it. And there's lots of different ways that you can use your book. You know, you can go from using your book as that extended business card that generates leads in that one-to-one type situation. You know, when you're introducing yourself, it makes a big impression when you introduce yourself with your book in hand, right?
Absolutely.
And, you know, I let people take a look at the book. They flip through the book. If they're interested, I offer it to them. But I take my copy back, and they've got to give me their name, address, email address, and phone number, and I'll mail them a copy, because then I've generated a lead, right?
Absolutely. I like that.
You know, and then you know, how you can use it on social media to position yourself. You know, your book is an amazing source of content. If you've ever wondered, you know, what to put on social media, go through your book or have a friend go through the book and pull out 90 quotes. There you go. You got 3 months of content. You can post something every single day. You can post a quote, you know, go on. There's a really nice program called Canva. Canva.com.
Yes, I love it.
It's free. You can go on there. You can do up all your little social media designs and put your little quotes in, and you know, you can just have them ready and just rotate them through every 90 days, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, people don't realize that there's so much that you can do once you have that book.
Absolutely. And any speech, any opportunity you get to meet people or to speak to people, as you stated with posting online, also just giving advice from, like, building in your program's advice from your book. Because I had one student who she heard me delivering the topic, the lesson, and she brought the book herself to class before it started. So it's kind of like just always referring back to whatever you've written. It's a constant source of information. It's like a gift that keeps on giving once you've written a book.
And I mean, that leads to the other thing too, is, you know, once you're an author, bigger stages open up to you as well, because some stages require you to be an author. So if you have that book and you want to get on stages, you know, even applying to small stages, you know, you always want to include that you're an author in anything you send. So if you send your bio or whatever, include that you're an author, include a link to your book, you know, make sure that when it's up on Amazon that, you know, people can access the free sample of the book, because if people are checking you out and they check in your book and they read it and they like it, they're going to bring you on their stages as well.
Absolutely. And a really inexpensive way to market it, your email signature. So all of my emails that go out, there's a signature space at the bottom of your email that you can actually have your link that is on every email that you send to someone. Really inexpensive way of marketing what it is that you do. So just another opportunity.
And I think one of the big things, and this is something that I teach my clients, and I'm sure you teach yours, is the fact that you're not looking to really make the money from the book sales. You know, you don't make a lot of money off of your book sales, especially your ebook. You just don't. But so you're not going for sales, you're going for positioning.
Positioning is key.
You know, and recognizing how that once you're an author, people see you differently.
Yes.
So
they see you as an expert and authority.
Yeah.
And so whatever the subject matter is, it's like, oh, you're an authority in that particular area.
Exactly. You know, and it's really funny how, you know, don't be afraid to just get your book out there. And, you know, if you check around, you can find good places to have your book printed, you know, for reasonable prices. I know here in Canada, I can get books printed, you know, for the $5 and under mark. You know, when you've got your book up on Amazon, most people don't realize that once your book is up on Amazon, you can log into your back office of Amazon and order authors' copies of the book. And in most cases, that's about $2 to $3 American. You know, there's shipping on top of that. Now, if you're Canadian, by the time you convert and the shipping, you're probably looking $5 to $7. Okay. But, you know, here's the thing. The nice thing about Amazon, sometimes when you go to printers, there's minimum quantities. But on Amazon, you can order one copy if you need to.
Right. And I also want to say another thing that's very important in the process. Don't forget about, there are platforms online even for teaching, like the subject matter that I mentioned of grief recovery. I've been able to also teach that online. And so you want to think about every outlet that you use, how can that outlet be transformed into a business opportunity for you? So if you're online, social media, what ways can you utilize those platforms to teach what you offer?
Yeah. I mean, even podcasts, there's a lot of podcasts for authors and entrepreneurs. And, you know, a lot of entrepreneur shows are looking for experts. And if you've already written that book, you're considered the expert. So, you know, when you apply to be on these podcasts, you know, you've now got an advantage over somebody who's not an author.
Absolutely. Every open door can always lead to another open door. And I tell people, sometimes I think people think they have a big dream, right? And so they want to accomplish it all at once. Well, no, dreams are meant to be lived and achieved, but you achieve them by taking one step at a time, a step each day, be it a podcast, a social media post, a live video, a conversation with your book online, an online class, a workshop, or in-person class. Those are all steps that lead towards your ultimate, whatever your big dream is. Those are all steps that lead to your big dreams being fulfilled. And so that's what I do each day. I get up and take one step at a time towards the dreams that I have.
So why don't we shift gears a little bit? Why don't you tell us about your current book and what it was like writing it? Like, you know, you've written a lot of books now, but do you still find it hard sometimes to get started, to get moving? What's the hardest part for you at this point, having written several books?
I would say probably focus, right? Because when you have so many dreams and goals and you have so many books, you have different ideas always vying for your attention. And so for me, it would be focus. The writing process, it comes as natural as breathing for me, right? but the focus. And so I hope that you can see it, this little cube, it actually has the word focus on it. And so anytime I am writing, I will have this cube nearby. I will set it on my laptop or wherever I'm writing to help me stay focused on whatever book is in front of me, or whatever program or class is in front of me. I work to intentionally stay focused. I even found a little ring that has the word focus on it, so I wear that when I focus. I'm very intentional about staying focused because I am aware I like to do a lot. But you have to focus forward on whatever the assignment is in front of you.
Awesome. How can people get a hold of you and connect with you and find out more about you?
I am on social media, all platforms, as T Speaker Author. That is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then my website is tavetta.webs.com, just like my first name, www.tavetta.webs.com. That's how people can reach me. So social media, the website, or by phone, 219-730-7621 is our office phone number for Abundant Life Publications, where we provide first-class consulting and publishing services.
That is awesome. Well, this has been a wonderful interview. Thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll have you on again, and we'll have some more discussions about book writing, book publishing, and how to use your book. Yes. So this has been a great time. Thank you so much for being on the show. This is Kim Thompson-Pinder with the Author to Authority podcast. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye now.
Take care.